Hello and welcome to another episode of Ask Dr. Visha. We're here at Advanced Dermatology and Skin Cancer Associates in Germantown, Tennessee, one of two of Dr. Visha's practices in the Mid-South. This week we're talking all about glowing skincare hacks for glowing skin. In just a little while, Dr. Visha is going to demonstrate live a cellulite reducing skin tightening body wrap, one of her favorite tricks for tighter, smoother skin. For now, she is going to answer a few questions. If you have questions you would like to ask Dr. Visha, please write them in the comments below and she will do her best to answer it live. All right, let's get started. Please welcome Dr. Visha.
Hi guys, how are you this morning?
All right, Dr. Visha, it's almost summertime. I can't believe it, but it is. Which means we're going to be poolside with less or no makeup soon. Do you have any at-home remedies for clearer skin?
Absolutely. So we know that we're going to be out in the sun. So first, let me say how important it is to wear sunscreen or an SPF of greater than 30 on a daily basis, and also to wear a hat and protect yourself when you're outside. Of course, in order to prepare ourselves to go out there and look good, we want to make sure that our complexions are clear. It's good to exfoliate your skin. Some natural hacks. I was asked to mention natural hacks today that people do to get their skin clear before we get ready to go out into the sun is just to kind of get the oil and the sebum off our skin. A lot of cultures use lemons to cleanse their skin at night. In India, it's very common, I know. And it's really important because the ascorbic acid or vitamin C, which is also in our Visha Skincare Advanced Correcting Serum, will work to lighten the skin, to lighten sunspots. It exfoliates, it gives you an antioxidant, and some of those acidic qualities in there, the fruit acids, alpha hydroxy acids, which are in the lemons that people rub on their skin, help give you a light peel, a very light peel, of course. So that would be something that you could do on a daily basis leading up to going out and looking good. Of course, we want to do that at all times, not just at the summertime. And then, of course, using your SPF on a daily basis as well.
Great. So would you incorporate lemon into our nightly routine, our morning routine? What do you, or either?
Yeah, so it's funny, my mom gives a history of having acne, and she used to scrub her face with lemons in India as well, and she also used to use chickpea flour as an exfoliant on top. And I think those Ayurvedic or natural procedures or things that beauty regimens that people do tend to carry over throughout generations, and sometimes it just get incorporated into our skincare that we use on a daily basis as well. So it really doesn't matter with this regimen whether you do it in the morning or at night. If asking me as a dermatologist, I would say do it at night because you would get the maximum benefits of the regimen as you sleep. And then in the morning, you'd want to cleanse your skin and then put your SPF on to go out in the morning. You wouldn't want to do anything that would irritate or dry your skin out before you go out in the sun, because that could make your skin a little bit more irritated.
Great. What can we do to get rid of sunspots or dark marks before summer, or how can we prevent it this summer as well?
Right, so people of lighter complexions get dark spots or brown spots or sunspots, and people of darker complexions, we get dark spots after we get red spots or scars, and we also everybody gets melasma or the mask of pregnancy, but there's always the want for people to have an even complexion. Not necessarily lighter, just not different colors. And so people want to look great going into the summertime, but the summertime is actually when all this stuff happens the most, because those pigment producing cells in our skin, those melanocytes, are actually not evenly distributed. We're not born with actually we are born with an even layer, but over time, those melanocytes become unevenly distributed, probably mostly from the sun and genetics and hormones. And so what happens is the sun causes these melanocytes to get really big and swollen, making the brown spots appear darker and the skin that doesn't have as many melanocytes appear lighter. And so we use products or agents, including vitamin C, ferulic acid, licorice. There's a lot of natural ingredients that we can use in products that help shrink those melanocytes. Now, the most common lightening agent available on the market, as most people know, is hydroquinone. And it's available over the counter as a 2%, and it's available in lots of fancy dermatologist lines with multiple systems, as clears and blenders and things like that, as a 4% prescription strength. Now, hydroquinone is toxic, and I can't be more adamant about the fact that it should not be used over a long period of time, because it can lead to more problems and even skin cancer. And people don't know this fact. So in order to clear up their spots or lighten their spots or even their complexion, going into summer and coming out of summer trying to undo the damage that was done, because it gets worse in the summer, people use hydroquinone. So I would say don't use hydroquinone anymore. Of course, we have a patented blend called Luminatics, which works exactly the same and is so much safer with the Visha skincare products. Our Advanced Correcting Serum and our Mommy Brightener contain the Luminatics. And that is a patented blend of these natural lightening agents such as kojic acid, licorice, vitamin C. It's got all azelaic acid. It's got all these lightening agents all in one serum that can be used twice a day. So fighting pigmentation is a battle. And it's not just about doing it before we want to look great in the summer, but it's about fighting it, or maybe even fighting it harder after the summer's over to start the cycle again. So that's why sunscreen is brought into the equation. Once again, those melanocytes can't have the UV ultraviolet radiation because they get really big and then everybody becomes discolored. So we have to protect ourselves in the morning with the SPF and then try to shrink those melanocytes or pigment producing cells mostly at night. If you're able to do it twice a day, that's even better. That's why the Visha skincare products work so well, is because they're safe, paraben-free, sulfate-free, hydroquinone-free, and fragrance-free. And it's something that you can use all year round to look good going into the summer, but then after the summer, lighten all that dark damage and sunspots and scars and anything that causes discoloration back.
Great. So I just want to remind the audience that Dr. Visha is going to demonstrate a cellulite reducing skin tightening body wrap live in just a few minutes. So stay tuned, listen to some of these questions and answers, and then towards the end, we're going to show you this amazing wrap that you can do at home in your bathroom with saran wrap. It's going to be awesome. You're going to love this for the summertime. All right, Dr. Visha, would you suggest using aloe vera as a natural solution for your skin? If so, how would you use it?
Aloe vera is an amazing plant. And so inside this plant is this gelatinous material that has wonderful anti-inflammatory effects. So every time we think of aloe vera, we think of getting a sunburn and then putting it on there. And that's kind of, okay, yeah, it's perfect. It's an anti-inflammatory, it's soothing, it's a wonderful natural ingredient. But now, maybe we should use it not just for sunburns or, not get burned and still be able to use the benefits of the aloe vera. So any kind of inflammatory process, irritation around the eyes. Our eyelid skin is so delicate and sensitive. So people with allergies can use a touch of aloe vera around their eyes when they have inflammation. People with rosacea can use it. And actually, there's wonderful studies showing that it's best used ingested. So it's really good to kind of eat it. And we're getting all the benefits in our gut. So our skin and our gut is connected. It's largest immune organ in the body. So the skin's the largest organ of your body. This is your largest immune organ of the body because it's exposed to the outside. Our gut would be the second largest immune organ of our body because it's exposed to all the stuff on the inside. And we have pockets of immune cells in our gut. So just like we would be treating inflammation on our skin using aloe vera, we're able to ingest it and it calms our gut down. Just like taking a probiotic, and I know I say this all the time, 6 glasses of water, 8 hours of sleep, a multivitamin, and a probiotic helps your immune system and your skin look better. But the aloe vera also calms the immune system down and helps with inflammatory processes like acne and rosacea.
Great. So I've also heard that you can use aloe vera as a skincare hack when all those bugs come out in the summer. Would you use it to treat bug bites?
Bug bites on me are super itchy, so it would be nice and cooling, I'm sure. But yes, so it calms the skin down. Now, to prevent bug bites, there's lots of things you can do. Lavender oil, there's lots of natural ingredients we can use to help repel the bugs so we don't get the bites. So that would be something that I would recommend. all the citronella oil as well. And after you get a bite, the first thing I would do is ice. That ice will stop that histamine release and help with the inflammation and decrease the amount of inflammation going on there.
Great.
Some people use onions as well, right on top of the bug bite. They think that the enzymes from the onions help break up the mosquito saliva enzymes. I haven't done that yet, but I know there's some data out there.
Awesome. Okay, so we're going through some of these skincare hacks. If you're joining us now, we've talked about lemon juice, aloe vera, advanced correcting serum for your dark spots that you might obtain over the summer. And now we want to talk about dark under eye circles. Okay, summertime, we might be out late, having too much fun. What would you do to wake up your face, look brighter? If you have a puffy face after a long night out, do you have any skincare hacks for that?
Yes. Hydrate, 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 hydrate. So, like I always say, 6 glasses of water, 8 hours of sleep, a multivitamin, and a probiotic. The skin under the eyes is the most delicate skin on our body. Well, second most delicate skin on our body. And it's so thin and transparent and very, very prone to drying. So we have less of a collagen layer there. We have less of a fatty layer there, and so we have some people have allergies going into the summer, especially here in Memphis. It's been really bad lately. Rubbing your eyes and tugging on the skin around the eyes makes darkness and can create inflammation, which in me, of course, red goes into dark circles as well, so that can create dark circles. Hydration is so important because it not only helps with your immune system and your allergy symptoms, but it also helps put the water and back into the skin and back into your eyes. And that's why we have a wonderful advanced bright eye booster and our mommy eye booster as well. The active ingredients are hyaluronic acid. In the advanced bright eye booster, we have caffeine as well. It helps with microcirculation, so it helps with puffiness around the eyes. We get a 17% reduction in fine lines and wrinkles and puffiness around the eyes in less than 6 minutes. So that's kind of an amazing eye cream to be able to use in the morning and at night to help with puffiness and dark circles. Obviously getting enough sleep would be kind of a normal thing to say, but into the summer we're getting even more dehydrated. So we may not realize it, but we may be out more, drinking less water, we might be out more doing sports, sweating more, and also maybe even going out more and drinking a little bit more alcohol. So that can cause even more of a dehydrating effect on the skin and on the body. So I'd say the most important thing would be to drink more water.
Great. Can you use this bright eye booster over your makeup or multiple times a day, or is this just something you do in the morning or at night?
So the Visha Skincare Advanced Bright Eye Booster is used right after you wash your face, first thing in the morning and at night. And the way you put it on is right after you wash your face is you use a non-dominant finger. So you're going to use your ring finger of your dominant hand, and you're going to pat the cream very gently. A little bit goes a very, very long way. You're going to pat the cream very gently under your lower eyelid and your upper eyelid, and you're going to see those amazing results of 17% reduction of lines and puffiness in less than 6 minutes. And I use it as my primer, as my makeup primer. So I put it on in the morning and at night, but in the morning I put it on and then I put my makeup on top, and I don't need to use anything else after that. And it's used twice a day, but it's under your products. Your sunscreen should go on top in the morning.
Great. All right, everyone watching, just want to remind you that you can ask Dr. Visha questions live, so put those questions in the comments below. We're going to try to get to those soon. Also, in just a few minutes, Dr. Visha is going to demonstrate a cellulite reducing wrap that you are going to be able to do at home by yourself. It's going to be great. You're going to want to use this all summer long. So hold tight. We'll get to that in a few minutes. We just have a few more questions for Dr. Visha. All right, Dr. Visha, we hear that tea bags are the ultimate beauty hack. What do you say? Would you use them?
Of course. Why do you think I didn't put caffeine in the Advanced Bright Eye Booster? Absolutely. It's the caffeine, and so it helps with microstimulation. We have thin skin and lots of circulation around our eyes, and so what happens is if we're we're sleeping on our faces, it's all kind of draining down. We have lymphatic drainage. If we have allergies, we get back above lymphatic drainage. And so the caffeine helps with microcirculation. Now, using a cool tea bag also helps cool the skin as well. Some people will use a wet, cool tea bag, thus accomplishing two purposes, hydrating the skin around the eyes and also taking advantage of the caffeine component.
Great. Is there a particular type of tea you would use? Can you use multiple types of tea?
I think at this point you would do whatever you like, your favorite tea.
Awesome. Great. Okay, let's talk about tanning. All right, we obviously don't want to use tanning beds. They're not great for your skin. So if you don't tan well in the summer and you want to get a spray tan, do you have any hacks for making that spray tan last longer? Any tips you have around spray tans?
Yes. So yes, please spray tan, right? So that's so important. If you want that golden glow in the summertime, the same ingredient that causes apples to get brown when they sit out in the air, that oxidation of the sugar in the apples is exactly what we're using in our spray tans, both in the bottle and our liquid form, and also when you go get it professionally done. So it's safe. What it does is it creates pigment on this top layer of the cells there, and people will get an uneven tan if they don't exfoliate their skin before the pigment is placed on that top layer of cells. So areas that are super important to exfoliate before you get a spray tan: elbows and knees. Everybody's had, and if anybody who's done it has noticed that when you bend your elbow, the skin is really nice and taut, but when you extend, you will get crinkly skin, and what happens is the pigment tends to be concentrated when you get a spray tan in these areas, and that's where we tend to get a lot of rough, dry, dead skin. So exfoliating is super important. Once again, this is where our Visha Skincare Sugar Shrink Scrub is amazing. It's an amazing exfoliant. I have a super bad case of keratosis pilaris. I mean, I've had it forever, and I use our Sugar Shrink Scrub every day to take off that top layer of skin and exfoliate the skin so my hair follicles can come in smoother. And of course it gets worse in the summertime, so if you have keratosis pilaris and you're getting a spray tan, make sure you exfoliate really well before you distribute the pigment on the skin, because you will notice that it'll get concentrated in some areas more than others. So I would think the most important thing to do would be to exfoliate so everything, all the color gets on evenly.
Great. Okay. What in the summer we tend to go to more parties, events. What if we wake up with, yes, a pimple? What are we gonna do? Do you have any last minute, hacks to help clear up that pimple?
I do. And understand that it's normal. For women, it's okay. We're going to have a pimple every 2 weeks. It's just gonna happen. It has to do with hormones. A couple things cause pimples. Just so you know, 4 things cause pimples. So it's not a horrible curse when it does happen. 4 things have to come together to create this horrible monster on the face. Usually people are more upset about the ones on their faces. The first thing needs to happen is you clog your pore. Dirt, sweat, oil, makeup. The second thing that needs to happen is there's a normal amount of bacteria and fungus and oil on our skin that just got clogged into that pore. And so we need a little bit more oil production. A lot of people don't realize this, but our argan oils and our hair oils and all these things that we're putting in our hair can feed the process a little bit and occlude the follicle, so that can make it worse. That's the second thing that needs to happen. So this bacteria and fungus tends to grow when it's getting a nice home, that's nice and shut away from the environment, and it's not able to be cleaned out. And then you get inflammation. And that inflammation creates these white blood cells, and that creates that little pus pocket. So now you have a full-blown tiny little infection in your hair follicle called a pimple or a comedone. And the way to hack that would be, if you had to do it really fast, would be to try to dry it up, right? To try to get it to go down and dry it up a little bit. So one really famous way to do this is to use toothpaste at night. So you oh gosh, I got something to go to tomorrow and I have a pimple. So we're talking about natural remedies right now. So you can put toothpaste on it, and that can help dry it up. And what it does is it desiccates it, pulls all the oil and the fluid out. If you have clay, like a clay mask, you can put it on there as well, because that would do the same thing. It would pull the oil out and flatten it out. Now, it doesn't kill the bacteria and actually get rid of the pimple, but it definitely helps before you're going on your event. And some other things, we have our Visha Skincare Advanced Purifying Cleanser, which has a lot of lactic acid, glycolic acid, tea tree oil, and salicylic acid in it. And I will actually just dab the cleanser on the pimple and let it dry overnight. And when I wake up in the morning, I find that my pimple is gone, and that makes me super happy as well. Some people will use hydrocortisone if you're in a super pinch of a over-the-counter non-prescription strength. If you have a lot of inflammation or redness, I would say do that with caution. Steroids on the face cause skin thinning and lightening, so that shouldn't be something that's done on a common basis. But toothpaste tends to work, and of course for me, I use the Advanced Purifying Cleanser.
Great. All right. Just a reminder, you can put your questions below in the comments. We're going to try to get to those in a little bit. But now is the time you guys have been waiting for. Dr. Visha is going to demonstrate live right now one of her favorite ways to reduce the appearance of cellulite and basically help you have a soft glow to your skin this summer. She's going to tell you all about it. You will be able to do this at home. You just need Sugar Shrink Body Scrub, and she'll tell you everything that you need to do it. So we're going to get set up for that. Hold tight, and we'll show you how to do that.
Do I stand or sit?
I can sit. Either way.
Because if I stand,
Wait, just want me to lay down here?
will it get me if I stand?
Not your face.
Is this? Yep.
Okay.
Is it on?
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys. So what is cellulite? Cellulite is the dimpling of the skin that happens mostly on thighs, on all women. And so it's genetic in nature, and these little fibrous bands connect the skin to the fascia underneath. And of course we have fat distribution, and that's really common. I would say cellulite is, men get cellulite too, women get it a little bit more because it's hormone related. We're going to demonstrate on an abdomen. Of course, Emily doesn't need to do this, but this is a demonstration for demonstration purposes how we would use our Sugar Shrink Scrub at home. I emptied out a little bit of a Sugar Shrink Scrub here. I just add a little bit of water. So what's so special about this? It's sugar, and you can eat it. It's sugar, caffeine, tea tree oil, eucalyptus oil, and a little bit of emollient. And so what you do is you rub in a circular fashion. I did wet it. So you could do this in the shower, so it's okay to do this in wet skin. And so you rub the scrub in a circular fashion. Why a circular fashion? So you might be reading lately that people are doing things called dry brushing in the shower, where they're just taking a brush and they're just rubbing the skin with their brush, and that's creating an increase in microcirculation, which is helping decrease the appearance of cellulite as well, because it's helping with the lymphatic backup and helping everything be nice and smooth. So you're going to do the same thing here using this. You're going to increase the microcirculation on your thighs and on your buttocks, and you can do it on your abdomen. I always do it on the back of my arms when I'm in the shower in a circular motion there. And I really, get a nice layer, like a nice thin layer, because it's going to be sitting there for a little while. Funny thing how we discovered to do this. I developed the Sugar Shrink Scrub in our Medi Spa, and what happened was we created a cellulite body wrap, and in creating the cellulite body wrap, we were getting an amazing response. So we do procedures in our office such as Cool Sculpt, etc., and we had created a caffeine sugar body scrub to use in conjunction with the Cool Sculpt procedure. So as you see here, I've created a nice barrier with saran wrap. And why do we do saran wrap when we use products, and this is with medicines as well? Saran wrap creates occlusion, and any topical product over occlusion tends to go in and is absorbed a little faster. And another hack would be to go ahead and use a heating pad on top of this. So this would be on your thighs as well. I'm demonstrating on Emily's tummy, but you would put a heating pad on top of the Sugar Shrink Body Scrub and wrap, and then sit. So we let our patients sit for about 30 minutes. Sometimes they're getting facials and other things done in the office. And what happens is after about 30 minutes, because it's such an elegant scrub, we're able to wipe it off, and I'll let you guys watch me do that. So our scrub was so popular that women were coming in with little Tupperware containers and taking the scrub out of our Visha Medi Spa. So of course my esthetician's like, Dr. Patel, maybe we need to bottle this and share it with the world. And so we've come up with multiple uses. The exfoliation, of course, and the keratosis pilaris. Because it has tea tree oil, it makes it really special as well, because it's really, really good as a dry foot exfoliant. We have a lot of women who, before summer and sandal time, want to exfoliate their feet and get all the dry skin off. The tea tree oil helps with foot fungus, or the dry, peely, scaly skin at the bottom of the feet as well, and it helps kill that. And so that's really helpful to combat all of that. So because it's such an elegant scrub, we're able to just use a little bit of a wet washcloth. I have to apologize, I think it got a little cold. And after 30 minutes of cooking or 30 minutes of having the warmth, even if you don't want to do the warmth and you want to just wrap your thighs and walk around or watch some TV or watch your favorite show or even fix your hair or do your makeup, even if you wanted to do something while you're letting the saran wrap and the body scrub work, that would be great. Now we of course have not been here for 30 minutes, but I'm just going to demonstrate on how easy it is to take the scrub off. So you don't necessarily have to be in the shower. I do this in the shower because I do most of my beauty routine for my body in the shower, but it's just easily wiped off. It doesn't really leave a residue. It's just a wonderful, elegant formula. So and it leaves you moisturized as well because of the oils in the product. So you could wrap your thighs, just wipe it off, put your clothes on and go. And there you have a hack that'll give you slimmer, thinner looking, less dimply thighs and abdomen and buttocks for the summer.
Great. Can you list for us again all the products you'll need to do this at home?
Right. So just like what you have here, you would need warm water, our Visha Sugar Shrink Body Scrub, and some saran wrap. If you want to, you can use a heating pad. We have one here, and that just expedites the process. So of course, the purpose of all of this is to put the product on the skin, use occlusion to help the product work, and then, which is the saran wrap, and then to go ahead and use the heating pad to help it work a little bit better.
All right, perfect. Let's see here, make sure we have any questions. All right, well, we walked through some really great skincare hacks. We can summarize. We did lemon juice.
Yes.
Aloe vera, tea bags, toothpaste, you name it. Anything else that comes to mind as a good skincare hack as we get ready for summer?
Protect your hair as well. So as as we go swimming and we go out in the sun, we don't think about putting sunscreen in our hair. People who are going swimming can get a lot of dry and brittle hair as well. One hack is not necessarily a hack. I mean, you don't have to get really special products. I just told you that a lot of hair oils break people out. But is putting a little, keeping a little bit of conditioner and water in a spray bottle is helpful to help condition the hair and help the keratin, especially if you have hair color. I have hair color, so we're careful about that. Men don't think about this. I'm not a huge fan of spray sunscreen, but men don't think about this. I don't like it because it's not evenly distributed on the skin, and I don't think that people are really good about getting an even layer of sunscreen on their skin. But men who have thinning hair, or even women who have thinning hair, if you don't have a hat and you're outside in the sweltering heat and sun, that would be a place to use spray sunscreen. Is protect your scalp from burning, because I can't tell you how many skin cancers we find on scalps that have had bad burns.
Great, thank you so much. All right, thank you to everyone who has tuned in today for Ask Dr. Visha. We hope you've learned a lot. Continue to put your questions in the comments and we'll answer them throughout the day. Please make sure you like this video and share it with your friends. Make sure you like the Visha Skincare page. And all of these products, Visha Skincare products that we talked about today, Dr. Patel, where can we find them?
We have them in our office in Germantown, Tennessee and in Mississippi, but more importantly, they're online at www.vishaskincare.com and available on Amazon.com.
Great, awesome. All right, everyone, have a good Friday. Thanks so much, Dr. Visha.
Thanks, guys.